Hey there, everybody. Welcome to week 7, I believe we're in now. Moving right along in Japanese history and culture. Today we're kind of moving a couple sort of elements. One, we're looking at sort of how Japan came together. This is a period of Japanese unification that first sort of lecture talks about how it sort of broke apart. Sort of feudal Japan, but with all these sort of small little pockets of control. But that's also where that's also the sort of the height of the Japanese samurai world, where each little daimyo had their own army and their own castle, and all these little castle towns, all throughout sort of the Japanese archipelago. Some ruling, a couple of ruling dynasties, but really I think that samurai stuff's really interesting. I gave a little bit of history of that. Gave some histories of famous samurai throughout Japanese history. The male Gozen is a female samurai, so we even have examples of that. Musashi, I gave a little video on him. He took part in this unification process. Very interesting there. And then this unification, Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, Ieyasu, or they were very prominent figures within Japanese history and culture as well. I think in the lecture I talk about there's a story of kind of a parable of human nature, that if there's a bird in a tree, how do you get it out? And Nobunaga would shoot the bird. That's how you get it out. Very active, like let's just get it done. Hideyoshi would try to negotiate with the bird, very strategic, try to lure it out of the tree. Whereas Ieyasu would wait for the bird to come on his own, because that's how they sort of approach this unification process. And Tokugawa Ieyasu waited in what is Edo, what is now Tokyo, and when all of this stuff went down, he came in and ended up becoming the unifier, and then shifting the capital from Kyoto to what is now Tokyo. So that's how we kind of get into that world. So all of that is talked about, but then on the other side of this is the tea ceremony, because this is where the contemporary Japanese tea ceremony also comes out of, and I give a little bit of history of that, of how originally it was this very opulent, kind of over the top, only for the elite people's ceremony, and then it changed. Nobunaga and Hideyoshi through this guy named Senno Riku, who adapts more sort of this more a little more austere approach to the tea ceremony, that you're coming in, it's supposed to be intimate, close. You have to take off all of your weapons and things. It's a sort of safe space where a lot more protocols, which is still around today. That's kind of the way that the Japanese tea ceremony goes. If you've ever been to one, there's a Japanese tea house in Hilo down at Liliuokalani Park, if anybody wants to go there. So yeah, that's kind of what we talked about this week. And the assignment for this week is to have some tea. One part about the tea ceremony, a big part of it, is just taking some time to step out of our daily lives. So I uploaded it. You can upload your videos right on the discussion post feature. It's a feature with Lamaku. I did it yesterday. So if I can do it, you can do it. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Just kind of, make some tea. Again, this is also kind of a way that we can kind of, we're on an online class, but we can kind of, we kind of know people's names through discussion posts and various things. So yeah, introduce yourself again, say hi, just kind of discuss your spot, why you're here, where you're sitting, what your tea is, your bowl, if you will. Again, kind of like taking mindful of the moment. And then if there's something that you've thought about or learned about thus far in the course, yeah, just kind of simple. But again, the whole point is just take 10 minutes out of your day and just put everything else aside, make some tea or some other beverage. It doesn't have to be tea if you're not a tea drinker. If you're a coffee drinker, juice drinker, that's fine too. It doesn't really matter. But just be mindful. That's the main thing. So do that. Upload that by Friday. If your week is super busy, don't fret. Upload it over the weekend. I'll extend that as well. Just find some time. That's the important thing. If you look at the student resources, I've uploaded Padlet from last week. Really great. A lot of good festivals and some good arts. And then there's just some scholarship information. The UH Common Scholarship is due March 3rd, so hopefully everyone applies for that. And then some other announcements I put on there as well. So I think that's it. Have a good rest of your week.